All right, now we move to the NFL and a story we shoved into the Rapids in our last episode, and that would be Deshaun Watson and the onslaught of civil suits facing the Houston Texans quarterback. That number has ballooned to 12 as attorney Tony Buzbee announced yesterday that 5 additional suits would be filed. Drink, I believe this is the first time we've ever turned a previous rapid reaction into a main topic in a later episode. What do you make of this growing scandal?
Yeah, man. Listen, I'm gonna try to keep it short and sweet. You know how I get down. I don't like to talk too much on these scandals, especially when these lawsuits are ongoing, because you never know. When you speak on these situations and don't have all of the facts, you could turn out to look kind of crazy. So I'm gonna make my opinion off what we done heard thus far and how I feel, and let's jump into it. Now, I think you said this in the lead in. On Wednesday, when we talked about this, it was 2 cases.
I believe so. I believe so.
Thursday, Friday, now Saturday morning, it's 12. Hmm.
That's like a 600% increase.
I
Oh,
wish my stocks did that.
yeah.
But so I want to make sure I'm not watering down the merit of these claims, these 12 claims, because if they're true, Deshaun Watson should pay every penny that he has to pay. Let's keep in mind these are civil suits, folks, so he won't really serve prison time if these are true. He's just getting sued, so it's more of a settlement lawsuit, what have you. And I'm not saying, oh, these cases don't matter because of that, but I am saying don't sit back and be waiting on the OJ trial, because that's not what's going to happen here. This is going to be more of depositions. Your lawyer sit down, my lawyer that's hammering this out. Won't they won't. With that said, I find the timing of all this a little bit suspicious, because okay, I'm looking at the dates of the alleged incidents range from March 30th of 2020 to December 28th of 2020.
I think just
So,
to be clear, I don't think that I pulled that from somewhere. I think before they had the 5 that were announced yesterday, I believe. So
okay.
it could be even a wider date span, but those dates are from the first 7, I believe.
Okay, so here's my problem with this, right? Let's say Deshaun Watson did do this. Let's say he's guilty. He done sexual assaulted all 12 of these women. He's just a dirty foul thing, and he got a second life that we didn't know about. Something close to Tiger Woods or something, like it's out of control, right? Let's say that's true. How could Deshaun Watson do this to 12 women and the Houston Texans have no idea that any of this? So you didn't hear a peep from any of this massage parlor mishaps before now. I don't know. I don't know. It seems a little shaky, folks, because I'm of the mindset, why if you didn't know about these incidents then, how in the hell do you know about them now? And then how are we getting such a big world spin out of it if we don't even got all the facts? Because it don't seem like we got all the facts. But then you got this I guess they call him a celebrity lawyer, Tony Buzbee, representing the plaintiffs, the accusers, and then you got another celebrity lawyer, Rusty Harden, representing Deshaun Watson. This seems like a reality TV show. I mean, I don't, I don't know what to make of that part, but I do know this. I don't understand how he got away with all this, and Houston, the organization didn't see none of this. Because you got to remember, this is the same organization that has said we can't let the prisoners run the asylum or run the prison, or however they put it, but we can't let them run, we can't let the prisoners do that. So you say something like that, so that means you should have these guys under control. You should have all your boxes checked, right? But clearly you don't, because Deshaun Watson is out here, according to the accusations, He's a serious rapist. He just lured people into the massage parlor or into his house or into their house, and he just does all types of awful things according to the accusations. I just don't understand how is that reasonable. I feel like this is a ploy to, defame the football player, to defame this guy that you thought was your franchise quarterback, and now he don't want to be there anymore. And you're rich, you're wealthy, you're powerful, you're the 1%. You want to show him who's boss. Not only do I sign your checks, I got the connections out here in these streets that make stuff a little harder for you. So you can go outside, you can go out the door, but we're gonna make this a little harder for you when you go out the door. And here's the problem with these type of accusations. They're gonna follow Deshaun Watson for the rest of his career. It does not matter if he goes to court and get exonerated for all 12 charges or how many other charges is going to be by the end of this. Yeah. It doesn't matter because now you're going to put Deshaun Watson with sexual assault or Deshaun Watson with inappropriate behavior in massage parlor. However you want to put it, his name is going to be associated with that. It's nothing he can do. He can go out here and make speeches and go, but it's nothing he's going to be able to do to separate the two. And this is the problem with something like this is you come out here and these 12 cases. And even if they BS, he got to live with that for the rest of his life. And this ain't no joke, man. Like, this ain't no joke when you get labeled, you know what I'm saying, sexual assault, batteries. Because they like to put all that with sex offender and all this other stuff you got to register. I just feel like this is very, very unfortunate. And at the end of this, whatever decision is made, I hope it's the right decision. This is why we have the courts. This is what the court's supposed to do. Whether he did it or didn't do it, I hope the right decision is made. I hope Deshaun Watson didn't do this to himself and put himself in this situation. And I hope these victims, if they really are victims, they get the support and the help that they should get in a situation like this. But, it's just like anything else we talk about when we talk about these situations, man. We got to wait for the rest of the evidence to roll out, see what more information we get. And then, we, as it goes on, we put in our 2 cents and see what we're thinking. But as of right now, I just find the timing to be a little crazy. And I would like to know, hold up, before I do my closing. Isn't the lawyer that's representing the accusers friends with the Texans owner?
I don't know. I don't know if that's true.
Okay,
that is a question I would like answered.
Okay, because I thought, okay, so I leave that alone, but I did see some tea leaves that said that. And if that's true, there go another little thinking emoji. So, it's a very I think a fickle, fluid situation. But like I said, once we get more information, I would love to come back to the table with this, and then let's see, where we're at. But it's unfortunate for Deshaun Watson because, like I said, whether he's guilty or innocent, this is gonna follow him for the rest of his career, probably the rest of his life, just because it's kind of like any other situation, and it's a bad look. What I'm saying? It's just a very bad look. Oh, yeah. So hopefully we get some type of adjudication out of this, and we'll see, man.
Yeah, I think the point you make right off the bat about the facts of everything, and just so I'm being clear, I think you can look up the actual civil suits and read what's actually being alleged. I haven't delved too far into any of that. This whole thing seems pretty odd, and it doesn't feel right. It has a little bit of a sketch feel to it. I'm not trying to minimize anything that anyone has been through. But like you said, we was talking about 2 cases on Wednesday. Now we're up to 12. By the time we get off here, it might be up to 15. We don't know.
Right.
But like, I've just, and of course I don't know Deshaun Watson, but just from what I've seen, I haven't seen any indicator or any, I have no reason to believe that he is he is an athlete or a person that would engage in the type of behavior that's being alleged. I don't see it. Because there's some guys you just, like for example, let's just Antonio Brown. If you had to pick between Antonio Brown and Deshaun Watson, like who would you think would be more likely to cut up and act a fool and do something wild? Probably be Antonio Brown.
By a mile, it ain't even close.
And I say that, and I just
close.
say that to say is like Deshaun Watson, as far as I can tell, has just been class personified. From his days back, all the way back to Clemson, to all his time with Houston Texans, and really, it's only been up to this year, that he's, became unhappy with his situation. I think some of it is his own fault because he had some clues and some tea leaves, like to say that this organization just doesn't have a clue what's going on. From the moment they traded DeAndre Hopkins, that should have been the red flag saying like, oh, maybe I can get out of here too. Yeah, you got long-term extensions? Not interested. I'll go play somewhere else because my services will be in high demand. But ever since that trade, it's just been downhill from there. Bill O'Brien gone. You can't now. You hire David Culley, and we couldn't even figure out who that was. I'm still not certain who he is. But you see some of the things they're doing now with the free agency, and they got you don't like the GM that they brought in. Just seemingly outside of the contract that he signed, nothing else Houston has done lately has been anything resembling what he would like. So Deshaun Watson's unhappy. The Houston Texans know it. They've been on record saying they don't want to trade him, but I don't see how this situation gets resolved. And the point you brought up, I don't know if it's true, but I would like to know the attorney, Mr. Busby, who is representing the plaintiffs. Does he have any links to anyone inside the Houston Texans organization? If so, that is another kind of indicator that says this just don't feel right. This don't feel right. Another thing, and there could be some merit to the fact that these women don't want to identify themselves, but all of these claims are anonymous. They're all anonymous. No one wants to put their name on any of it. I don't know how unusual that is, but it would seem to me that there's got to be somebody that's willing to put their name out there and stand behind what they're saying. And as far as the level of allegations, what I have seen, what I have read, and it hasn't been much, but there's levels to the different type of behavior that we've seen, with regards to sexual assault, sexual harassment, whatever you have. And although everything that has been alleged is wrong and shouldn't happen, I haven't seen a whole lot that has just kind of been like, oh my gosh, that's just awful in every respect. Some of it seems, it doesn't seem as big a deal as some things we deal with. Not that, and that's not to minimize anything. I'm just trying to point out that there's levels to it. And I just overall, the timing of it, like the guy wants to be traded, and I think first and foremost, I'd like to know, does Mr. Busby have connections to the Houston Texans organization? Because the Houston Texans seem like an organization that would do something like this, that they would like create a scandal out of nothing.
Right.
That's what I mean, right. And I hate to say that. And in this day and age, we have to be sensitive, and we have to, acknowledge the allegations, however what we may think of them, because we just live in that we believe era. But at the same time, we also have the principles of due process. Everyone has the right to form a defense, and I still believe in innocent until proven guilty. But as well as I do, some of these cases in this kind of a public arena, it's not like that. Like as you say, just the stain of even these things being brought forward and made public are likely gonna follow him regardless, even if he goes to court and just is able to clear himself of everything, and juries and judges say, oh yeah, all of this is foolishness. The mere fact that it was all brought forward is going to stain him. I feel pretty bad for him. And at this particular moment in time, I am on the side of Deshaun Watson. I don't know all the facts. I don't know it all, but I am on the side of Deshaun Watson just for the most part that none of this feels right. And I know you need more than a feeling to exonerate someone, but I'm gonna have to see some hard evidence of wrongdoing before I really take this seriously. And I'm also gonna have to see some names. I would like to see some names. I'd like to know, and again, if there's any links from anybody with any type of like influence and like power in the Texans organization to that attorney, that's a major red flag that we should take this as, even in the time and place and climate that we live in. I don't know how seriously you can take it if those links do exist.